She's crafty, and she's just my type. She's crafty.
Hi everybody. Did you miss me? I missed you guys so much, and I was just like, I don't care if I'm bummed that it's the holidays. I'm gonna get a video out before 2017 is over, because this year has just been full of surprises. Not all for the good, but I'm not gonna go into any of that stuff. I'm just gonna keep it light because I'm gonna finish this year with a bang, which means this podcast. I wore my pussy hat because for people that don't know me, now you know me, and you can decide if you want to watch this or not. And I'm an Eagle fan, so you want to still watch, right? Anyway, cheers. Hopefully I do not get drunk through this podcast because I don't drink much anymore, and this is a mimosa, so it's stretch for me. Yeah, you're saying, what? You don't drink anymore? Yeah, I'm old now, and drinking makes me feel bad in my tummy. So I pretty much only drink socially, a couple of drinks. If I drink shots and things like that, yeah, Kina has a bad day. Am I in the third person right now? Who am I? Why? Just stop watching. Hi, I'm happy to be back. This is my podcast about knitting, spinning, sewing, cross stitch, crafting, bitching sometimes. I love all my internet friends, and I hope you guys are having a happy holiday season, and I hope Santa comes down your chimney and brings you everything that you want, and you have a happy new year. Live it up. Like, New Year's Eve is my favorite holiday because it's universal. Everybody has a good time, and yeah, I love New Year's, but I work every New Year's, but it's okay. I try to make the best of it. To start out the podcast, what am I going to do? I'm just going to go into, like, stuff that I bought, stuff that I finished, that I have, and I'll do, like, a little montage thing of stuff that I've knit and given out to people, or finished and just don't have, or, you know, things like that, because, what has it been, like 4 months or something since I did a podcast, and that's just wrong. And I'm sorry for this harsh red. Okay, for those of you that buy lipstick, you see it, and then you're like, yeah, that's not that bad. And then you put it on, you're like, what the? So, I'm a woman of the night during the day. There's nothing wrong with that. So, yeah. Getting my red on in the daytime. It is the holidays. So, I finished this. It's another pussy hat because there's going to be another march on the anniversary of the march, the Women's March last year. So this hat I made out of Alex Creates from Brooklyn. An awesome young 21-year-old who has his own yarn business, going to school, and he's fucking rad. I mean, oh, he's really rad. I'm going to try not to curse because it's been a while. So I love the yarn because it just gradually, it has a nice, look how purple that is. And the colorway is called Radioactive Grapes. And that purple is so bright. I'm just in love with it. And the yarn's really bulky, so this knit up really quick. And it'll be great for when I do the march again in Vegas. And so the one from last year that I have, I don't know if they need more hats for mailing out or anything. I haven't heard anything about that, but me and Laura, New and Horrible, I don't know if anybody knows her, we went to the march together last year, and I made her like a ghetto hat, but it was still pink, but it was like a funky fluorescent pink. So I'll give her my hat from last year, and that hat's all bedazzled and rhinestone and everything. So Laura, if we're going to the march this year, I'm sure you're watching this because everybody's like, when are you going to do a podcast? I have a hat for you because I'm going to wear this hat. Alright, I did spinning. This spinning is from Knitta Color, and I lost the tag. Yes, in the 4 months that I was away, my spinning book that I put in all the tags and my yarn and all those things, I was being like lazy or something. I don't know. I was going on a spinning kick too, because during Tour de Fleece I actually did like 3 things of yarn. And this, I don't believe, was one of them, but it's yarn in general. 350 yards. I need to move my drink and maybe have a sip. Oh yeah. It's all coming back to me now. I'm gonna start rambling like Nancy around Rabbit. Don't judge me. So the colors are like a very muted pink, blues, and whites. It's so pretty. 350 yards, I think, of a light DK, so a heavy fingering, maybe a little worsted in spots. I mean, if there's a perfect spinner out there by hand, you let me know and I will congratulate them, because I'm not perfect, but those imperfect parts of spinning make your projects so gorgeous. So I'm pretty proud of that. I mean, 350 yards of a 2-ply, boom. Every girl and guy should be happy about that. Talking about guys crafting. The guy, okay, there's a guy on Instagram who just became like knitting famous. Brooklyn Knits, I think that's his name. Now I'm totally blanking on everything because I'm doing a podcast and I have ambiance. Do you guys see that I set up ambiance for you? I see that's a thing. Candles in the background. I have mine. So it's peachy in here because that's Georgia peach, which I love. Peach smells. Peach flavored, but peach smells. Yummy. So I have ambiance. You see? You see what I'm doing? Just for you. Anyway, Brooklyn Knits, Frenchie from, I guess, American Idol. I don't watch American Idol, obviously. I'm not trying to be snobby, but I don't watch American Idol. Frenchie, she took a picture of a guy knitting on the train in New York City, and he was Brooklyn Knits, and he has, you know, he makes knits and sells them, and that's friggin' rad. Good boy. And now he's like knit famous. He's on talk shows and stuff. I knit too. So do you. We're all famous. Internet famous. Huh. Yeah, I'm having moments right now. Everybody knows that I'm all over the place. Knitting. Of sewing, which my Eagles are the ish this year. Recognize we're going to the Super Bowl and winning it. You heard it here first. So I made a bunch of people these Eagles hats. They're made out of fleece. And I made some that were Pittsburgh Steelers because there's some Steeler fans in my family. I don't know where they came from. They keep throwing their rings in my face and stuff like that. I'm like, what up? We're getting our ring this year. So these fleece hats were a free pattern on the internet. And they're super easy. So if you sew and you want to make an easy gift, fleece hat's the way to go. I made holiday bags, a lot of them. These are the only 2 that I have left. Shameless promotion. Go get them on my Etsy site. They're pretty cheap because I want to just clear out my Etsy site for 2018. I want to start fresh. I just want 2017 to be like in the past And 2018 to be like, bam, I'm here. I'm like, thank you. Let's do this. So, shameless promotions. Limitless Crafter on Etsy. That is me. And this one is Christmas balls and snowflakes inside. These are great for spindles. I do some spindling when I'm just, I don't know, having moments where I don't feel like really doing anything. I do a park and draft, which means that you take the spindle, spin it a bunch of times, and then park it like between your knees or whatever and draft it out instead of doing the spinning and, you know, letting the thing fall and all that. People with spindles, you know what I'm talking about. So I just do kind of like a park and draft in my chair, and then I'll put the spindle in these things. In these things. In these zipper bags that I made. And I have a Christmas tree one, which I would love this one so much. If no one buys it, I don't care because I love it. The print is totally me, like retro. It kind of reminds me of like Charlie Brown Christmas. And inside is Christmas balls. Or Christmas lights. Christmas lights. Words are hard. Podcasting is hard. I'm a little nervous. I just want to say, this is going to be so jumbly, this podcast. It's just going to be like, what are you doing? David Dogdare, his podcast last night, even though right now, during this season, I could cry on a dime, I kind of cried when he was singing. David, yeah, you warm my heart so much. Your podcast last night was not just the singing, but the message at the end. If you can't be with your family or you're working during the holidays or whatever, just make the holiday what you want it to be. That spoke to me, and you're everything. I might cry. No, I'm not. Anyway, I'm not the only podcaster that has cried on their podcast. I'm not going to point anybody out, but if you are one of them, just admit it. So, I only have 2 bags left. Go get them because I don't want them in my thing. I might just like, I don't know what happens if they're still in there. I have cross stitch, finished cross stitch, Cheech and Chong. I don't know if anybody knows that marijuana became recreationally legal in August. And that's all I'm going to say about that. And this was necessary. And fun. And I got a bunch of these holders from not a thrift store, but an antique store. I like to antique. It's like one of those things my mom would always do together. The hometown I'm from in Jersey is very old. There's a lot of antiques there, a lot of history in those antiques and things like that. And I just love like digging through that junk. Sometimes you find treasures. Like I found all different sizes, and about 8 of these look like wood holders. Like this is rubber, and then the inside is just, I don't want to show you the inside of my cross stitch. That's private. Anyway, I got a bunch of these, all different sizes for like nothing. So when you find cross stitch or knitting or sewing stuff in antique stores, I just can't let it go. Like I bought so many old needles that I'll never use, but I can't let them sit there. I put them by my desk in this holder. It's just all types of old needles that I'll never use before, but someone used them a long time ago and they were necessary, and you know, it was a way to actually have stuff, and they needed these to have, you know, socks and scarves and sweaters and things like that, and I just can't let them just sit there and go unloved. I will love them. Along with all the rest of my stuff. I swear I'm not a hoarder. I'm actually a minimalist until it comes to this room. In this room, it's all let go. I mean, all the things. I have 2 acquisitions that I remember that I know I definitely have not shown. Kelly from Ethereal Fibers. She's my girl, and she lives in town here, and we've been knitting together and met online. Oh gosh, I'm thinking like 7 years ago or 8 years ago, and just is like my other knitters in town here. We all met online on Ravelry, and we all became friends, and we're all still friends like 10 years later, and it's amazing. Ravelry community and the YouTube community, podcasters, I mean, you guys really do warm my heart, and you guys are lifelong friends. I've had friends on the internet longer than real friends, so it's amazing. It's just, people just don't understand. And I totally get online dating because I've online dated all my friends and they're amazing. So I totally believe in online dating. If you're online dating or you're scared to, do it, because I totally believe it could happen. So anyway, when Kelly has cashmere on sale, you buy it because her cashmere base is amazing. It's 80-10-10, which merino cashmere nylon. And this is her color Gobble Till You Wobble. It's a Thanksgiving series. And she's the creator of the autocorrect series, and she's on Etsy. And she's also at the Loopy U, which is amazing. This card's really white, but I'll tag her or something. I mean, come on, who doesn't know Kelly? We all know Kelly and Ken. I have to mention Ken too. Ken, hi. I know they're going to watch because they're going to be like, oh my gosh, Kina has a podcast out. So the other color I got was Charts and Graphs. This is autocorrect series. It's just amazing. It has sparkle too. I mean, seriously, it's everything. Whip it. I'm very ashamed of my whips. I have a tiny basket down there of hibernating. On my wall is like double hibernating. And these are in progress, I guess you could say. Anyway, ho. Eagle socks, which were supposed to be done already. I have totally just flatlined on socks. I don't know, for 10 years now, I've been the sock girl, love knitting socks. But then I'm kind of like on this year, defeating all my, everything. I just can't do anything that has a lot of mind thinking, even though socks really don't have a lot of mind thinking. But I've been taking stuff to work, and with my socks usually I'm lazy and don't count the rows. Well, I've marked this one to count the rows for the toe and things like that, and I don't know, I just haven't been on a sock kick, which I usually am. And even with watching shows and things, I can't get into anything new. I just need familiar. I need comfort. Yeah, that's how my projects are going. I just need something comforting and mind numbing. It has been a tough year, people. It has. So even just, there's so many shows that I want to watch that are new, and I just can't, my brain can't do it right now. Can't do it. After 2018, I'm hoping that everything's better, but this is the Eagles yarn from Aloha Blue in the Eagles colorway. Sorry, very bright, but anyway, it's the Eagles colorway, Aloha Blue, and she makes a lot of different sports teams. Me and Julie from Diary of a Yarn Snob, we were supposed to knit these together. Girl, I only have this half one done, and I don't see me starting the next one anytime soon. I've thought about it, but I haven't. And this is a bag I made, of course. Cat cans. Right. I am making my own bags to use myself now because I'm selfish like that. I have raccoons in green velvet, which my mother-in-law gave me a bunch of her fabric. And this green velvet, I'm sure she was like redoing a couch or something from the 70s. I have no idea why she would have green velvet, but I stuck it with raccoons and candy canes. People see my bags at work and, okay, I started that new job in Mirage and it's killing my will to live because they think I'm full-time when I'm part-time. And it's very clicky. Very clicky. I will just say that. So inside here I have a sockhead hat. Yeah. Just an easy old sockhead hat. And this is what I'm taking to work. This is Kelly Ethereal Fibers. And it's her Halloween season. Let's get this party started. It's that merino cashmere blend. When I saw it, I had to have it. And just plain the sockhead hat pattern. It's free on Ravelry. And I've got pretty much done so far. I didn't even realize I was that far ahead. My own hair. My hair is everywhere. So, I have a little ice cream cone on there. It's very bright in here today. That's weird. And since it gets dark now so early, I just never think about doing my podcast when it's dark out because, you know, I'm all about the light. I cannot stand when a podcast has light. That sucks. But if it's my friend, I'm like, it's all good. So that's how it's knitting up. And I'll put this in the Christmas box for next year. And remember last year, I was like knitting all this stuff and it's for Christmas. I got all the girls done, but when it came to the guys, it was crunch time. I think I made like 7 hats in 2 weeks or something like that. I just made the wind sheath by West Knits like a bunch of times, and it was so easy, and I took them to work, and I could make one in a night. It was great. So sorry I didn't make any of these for the shop, but this velvet, when you cut it, it just went everywhere, so I was never, ever, ever going to cut it again. I just threw the rest of it away because it just frayed so much, but it looks so pretty and soft. Next, I told you, I'm really embarrassed. I can't even imagine how many real whips I have on the needles right now. This is a Star Knits bag. And I started this hat because I've been seeing it on everything. And it was on Ravelry for free. It's like the CC beanie. So it's real scrunchy. It looks good on. I mean, I don't want it to fall off the needles though. But I'm going to put it in my Christmas box for next year. For somebody who's fun, obviously, because not everybody likes to wear rainbow. I don't know why. I mean, people are so finicky. This is Lemonade Shop. And I forget what the name of it was, but Lemonade Shop on Etsy. And I have my SCKCS stitch marker on there because that's my knit group. And we actually met up this week at Grouchy John's for knitting and coffee and everything. Missed you, Kelly. Where were you? Not answering your phone. God. Why do you have to be such an adult? So, depending on how this pattern looks, I may make some just with regular colors for people that like these kind of, what is this, like a hipster kind of hat, I guess, because all the hipster chicks are wearing them. Oh my God. Don't hate me. But it's a real easy pattern and it's fun, so, and it keeps it, you know, interesting. That's like the most brain power I have, I think. Changing from knit to purl. Everybody knows, well, I am still knitting through West Knits Best Knits. My shawls are hanging up back here. Exploration Station, Dotted Rays, the Doodler, Vertices Unite, which mine is Blue Moon Unite, and the one in the middle is a All Shades of the Truth with Wool Mice. So I just hung them up back there to hide all my, you know, there's a lot of stuff going on behind there. So I'm working my way through West Knits, Best Knits, and I'm on the striped bolting. So the colors that I'm using, which I'm not really far through this, but so far this is what's happening. What do I have? A donut on there, and I have a She Was Warned stitch marker. So I am using, I guess I should kind of show you the picture so you can get an idea, since I really don't have too much done. So for this brown part, the very light brown with the big chunk, I am using a variegated, and you'll see why. For the orange pops, I'm using this Wool Mice rusty kind of mustardy color. It's got a really crazy name. German. And then for the black and white stripes here, I'm using purple and chartreuse. All Wool Mice. I told you, well, podcasts way back, all those yarns that I covet, you know, the ones that are just like too pretty to use, I'm not doing that anymore because there's tons of yarn out there. I can always get more. I'm just not doing that anymore. I'm not hoarding them and never using them. I'm just friggin' ripping off the labels and spinning them up and using them because life's too short. I'm learning that. Life is too friggin' short, people. So that's the way mine is looking. So this is the variegated, and this is the separation one, the rusty, and this is the purple and the chartreuse going together. And I'll show you all the yarns together because this is what really said, like, yeah, that's gonna work. Yarn fell! Look at me. Woohoo! So, that's really pretty. This green is not really upright. That's way better. So that's a big project, you know, probably be on the needles forever until I'm out of this funk. Maybe 2018, like right when the 12 o'clock strikes, I'm gonna be like, bam, it's all gone. Maybe. We'll see. I would be very happy for that to happen. Oh, I'm using a eco-friendly all-natural bag. Alright, my last whip. Well, let's just not say that. My last thing I'm working on. And this was totally enabled by the Canadian knitter, Sarah. She Instagrammed something and I was like, I never even saw that before. So you guys know I'm like anti find your fade. Find your fade shawl and the finger weight sweater. Fingering weight sweater, yeah, no. But I did see Free Your Fade by Drea Renee Knits. And I'm like, yeah, I want to knit that. So the pattern is a big shawl that only uses 3 colors. And it's not like monsterly huge like Find Your Fade, which uses 7 colors or something and you only use little amounts of most of them. I don't see the point in that. Unless you have scraps and you did it. Most people bought like 7 new yarns, which is crazy. But mine starts out with an orange. And then it's going to fade into a blue, which will fade into a very bright green. I think it's going to be bright and very colorful. These two are from the same dyer, Black Cat Fibers. And it's the Nomad sock. This colorway is Love is Like Oxygen. And this colorway is Vitamin C. Very bright, yes. And this one is Sock Obsession Yarn. And look, there's a T-Rex. Oh, I have to show it. It has to show up. So this one is very bright and should be great for the end of the shawl. Because this part, the orange, which is the one that I'm least a fan of. I mean, I don't really wear orange or have anything orange. This is a smaller part. And then the blue is the middle. And then this part is really big, like the big end. It's kind of like a big, weird triangle shape. So it's Free Your Fade by Andrea Mowry. And I'm housing that in one of my bags that I sewed in the very beginning that has tons of fiber on it, but skulls. And I have my Angry Feminist Knitters Club pin on it. So they're my whips. So I know this podcast is probably going to be short. Things I want to knit, I really don't have. I mean, the quill sweater, I still want to knit that. I have Barocco Ultra Alpaca, I believe, a sweater's quantity, which I'd love to start that. I knit my first sweater and finished it this month. I'll show a photo of that. And everybody who follows me on Instagram, I'm the Limitless Crafter on Instagram, Ravelry, and Etsy. And I was just so happy to finish that sweater. It was a very easy pattern, which that's what I needed, and it was easy instructions to follow, which was great because I was very intimidated to knit a sweater. I don't know, you know, I'm one of those people, I'm very anxious, like something's new. I do not like change. I don't like going out of the house. I'm even ordering my groceries online, and it's amazing. I want to tell you that. It is amazing. Going to our grocery store is hell. It's just me and him. It's not like we have tons of groceries, you know what I mean? So it costs like 10 bucks to have them delivered, and you know what? It's worth every friggin' penny. That's horrible, but it is. So I don't really like change, so doing something different for me was a real turning point. And I'm just happy that I did it. I did something in 2017 that really really friggin' mattered to me, and that was knitting a sweater. I also lost some weight. I don't know how much because I don't have a scale. I don't believe in that. So I just go by my clothes and how I look, and I know I lost weight. My husband thinks there's something wrong with me and I need to go to the doctor, but I know just cutting out drinking, that's huge. I work like full time now, so I'm not able to just sit around and knit. When it comes to eating, I've never been a big fast food person or anything. I love sugar, but I don't have any sweets in the house, and I eat a lot of fruit. I'm just one of those people. I love fruit and vegetables, and I think just that is it. I mean, I'm kind of down to the weight that I was like 3 years before I met my husband, because when I'm single, I'm skinny. It's the men that put the weight on. That's horrible, but yeah. So yes, I have lost some weight, so it's all good. I mean, it's not like I worry about that anyway. It's just, it's the way I feel about myself that matters, so I feel good anyway. But it is kind of nice that I think my face looks better, and if anybody has watched Girls, On Girls, the lead character says, I don't lose weight for my body, I lose weight for my face. That is totally me, because my face is... my dimples are better now. I'll just turn it off now because now I'm babbling. Anyway, so nothing is on my radar to knit. If anything, it'll be like fun hats and stuff. And I bought a bunch of furry things to put on the hats. Faux fur. Faux fur. I mean, I'm not gonna go into that. But anyway, the podcasts I love to watch are David Dog There, Round Rabbit, Chanel Piperno, JD, which now I'm shaming you, girlfriend. Get on it because I miss your freaking face. I know Chanel from Piperno is like becoming a total hustler now. Like, you go, girl. Get that money. She's just amazing with the things that I've watched this girl, I feel like, grow until from her in college, and now she's out there and becoming, I feel like she's becoming herself and realizing who she is. I mean, maybe she doesn't think that, but just me watching her, she's really evolved in the past few years, I feel like, and yay you. I mean, you go, girl. I watched Canadian Knitter, the Mean Girls, of course. Oh, where are you girls at? Why are you being mean? Am I just shaming everyone right now? Maybe because everybody's been shaming me, I feel like. And I need more friends to start making podcasts. Laura, Christina, Kelly. I'm happy Round Rabbit's back doing her podcast. And she's out walking around in New York in the Finger Lakes. And I know it's freezing. I can just see she has beautiful photos that she posts on Instagram. And it's like snow on the ground and freezing. You go, girl, because it's like 40 degrees here in Vegas today, and I'm like, I ain't going outside. Hopefully it'll be back in the mid 60s this week, because the 50s and 40s are no bueno. Too cold. But New Year's, I want it to be really nice and warm so everybody stays outside and doesn't come in the casino. Even though I'd make more money if they're in the casino, but if it's less dead, I maybe will go home early. And I don't everybody knows Las Vegas had, you know, a really bad time in October, and that really hit home. I don't really want to go too much into it because, yeah, emotional, but it hit home, and people I knew were part of it, and I was worried about a lot of people. And oh my God, the people that reached out to me about everything that was going on and just seeing if I was okay, it was just mind-blowing. I mean, I didn't even know most of you. I've never seen a comment from you, but you guys were like, I watch your podcast, and even though we've never talked, I'm just wondering if you're okay. Oh, doing it, not. Oh God, it was so overwhelming. So thank you to everybody who was worried about me and just checked in on me. It was just so heartwarming. You guys are so sweet, and it's just good. It was there. It was there. So anyway, yeah, that was tough times. Politics right now, whew, let's not do it, but yeah. And family stuff is not what I want it to be, and so for the holiday I'll be working much, and I just want to get past that other stuff. But I'm going to do what David from Dog Dare said. Just make the holiday my own. Today's the last day I have off before I have to work, you know, 4 days all through the holiday. And then I'll have 2 days off, and then I'll work all through all New Year's and fun times and all that stuff. And it is what it is, people. It's my life, and I work at a casino, and this is what I signed up for, and I just roll with it. It's not new to me. It's 14 years now in Vegas doing this, and I'm going to make it my own. This year's just a little bit harder. I will say that. What am I going to try to do for 2018? I'm going to try to keep this podcast going. I'm really going to try, because doing this one is kind of nerve-wracking for me. I feel like I'm really all over the place, and I feel weird. But I'm going to try to keep this going. I'm going to try to keep in touch with people. I'm so bad about that. I'm like one of those people who just feel like if they want to talk to me, they'll call me, or they'll text me, or they'll ask me to do something. I don't know why I'm like that. I don't call people and see if they want to do stuff. There's friends that I talk to online, but they live in town and I just never call them, and they probably just figure that I'm just busy or something. And I'm really not, but I mean, I think a lot of the people that I associate with, we're kind of all the same. We're introverts, but we're also extroverted, which I am. I'm introverted to where this is like my safe spot, and for me to get out of it, it takes a lot. But once I'm out of it, I'm there, and I'm like, yay, like, let's do it. And I will talk to people and stuff. I mean, I'm very much like, I'll talk to you and stuff, but I don't like big crowds. I like my safe spot at home. I'm very much a loner. I like to go out by myself. I don't want to worry about people, you know, having breakdowns or getting crazy or having fights. I don't know. I'm one of those people, like, when people get emotional, I start to get emotional, so it makes me uncomfortable. So I don't want people to unload. Like, I don't know. Am I just so rude? So I totally get, the Mean Girls, Rebecca had a video about her introverted self, like just traveling to Rhinebeck and stuff. Girl, I get you. Because I want to go to Rhinebeck, and I think about the same thing like that, because I will probably be going by myself unless somehow someone in my family wants to go, which I can't imagine, but I'll be going by myself and trying to figure out how to meet these people that I know online, like, for years and years and years and years, but actually doing the leap of, like, we're meeting now, hi, and the podcast meetup and all the people and all that. I mean, yeah, it's not something I'm like, yay, let's do it. I'm kind of like, I need to do this, and, you know, it'll be fun once you get there. Just get there. I totally get it, girlfriend. I'm with you. That's why I say I'm an introverted extrovert. Like, I'm in the shell and you have to drag it out. The same thing with just a lot of stuff for me. Very hard outside. Very, like, jelly inside, but you have to dig for it. And I think that's why it's easy for me to talk to the camera, because if there was people here, I'd be like, oh my... I don't realize there's... My last video had like 1,000 views. I'm like, oh. That's kind of scary. That's kind of scary. People are... But I really want to hear from all of you. I want to hear, like, what you're doing. I want to hear what's your story this year. What did 2017 do to you? What does 2018 mean to you? And for me, 2018 means getting out there. It means not being afraid. It means reaching out. It means just being more extroverted. I don't know. Giving more effort. I just want to give more effort, I think, just 2017 made me realize life is really short. You got to just live it. And I'm lucky enough to be able to work part-time, even though I'm working full-time. It's so stupid. But anyway, when finally, I don't know what happens, the company gets their stuff together and I can be a part-time dealer like I want to be, and I can be able to do the things I want to do. You know, I want to buy a travel trailer, and I follow Girl Camper on Instagram, and I'm just all about the camping. Not like the roughing it part, but like taking your space and putting it somewhere beautiful and making fires and eating, you know, outside and sleeping. It's quiet and you're in your own little area. I mean, I don't know. Is that like an introverted thing? I feel like it kind of is, but I'm trying to make it not be, because I will try to talk to the other campers. I don't know. I grew up camping as a kid all summer. We lived by the shore, and we always took the camper down there all summer. And as a kid, my great-grandparents took me down to their camper all summer. I mean, we're talking about campers like luxury. We're not talking like tents and stuff. We're talking like real campers and things like that. We went on family vacations. You know, we didn't have a ton of money, and we just go camping like in the Smoky Mountains or up in Maine or New York State or something like that. I mean, it hits home for me, and just take my little camper and I'm in a different spot and I'm seeing different things and I'm meeting different people, and I got my knitting. I am not going to spend the whole time knitting in the camper. Or are we being honest and that's what I'm going to do? No, 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 no. If anybody wants to see cool pictures of camping, like retro awesomeness, it's Girl Camper on Instagram. And yeah, I want to do stuff like that. Hopefully I get a hot tub too. Totally random. I've been wanting a hot tub for like years and years and years. You know, when you're in a relationship, you have to make compromise, and this year I think I finally might get it. You're all invited. Come on over, get in a hot tub. Anyway, am I just talking too much? Probably. 16 minutes. Okay. I hope you guys enjoyed the podcast. I hope to have more content next time. This one was kind of on a whim. I just wanted to get it out there before 2017 is over. The rest of the week and the next 2 weeks is just crazy before 2018. 2018 is a brand new start. It's a brand new year. And make it your own. There, David. I stole your shit. Sorry. So, happy knitting.